One of the most astonishing developments we've seen in recent times is the meteoric rise of a petition that might just be one of the fastest growing this country has ever witnessed. It's a clear indication of the enormous backlash already mounting against this Labour government, and we're barely into Keir Starmer's tenure as Prime Minister. The Prime Minister has also had a television freak out over it. We will discuss this matter in today's video, whilst also going over some of the latest news from up and down the country. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and join our fast-growing community. Just a quick one to say we have new Stuck Farmer t-shirts available on our store. Go grab them now. They are available at britishstand.com or check the link in the description. This isn't just a domestic issue anymore. The petition is already attracting international attention, even drawing remarks from high-profile figures like Elon Musk. But before we dive into the explosive implications of this, let's take a moment to look at what Labour has been up to since taking power. Because it's not hard to see why so many people are outraged. Time and again, it seems that the needs of our own citizens are being sidelined. Pensioners are being squeezed harder than ever. Our farmers, many of whom have already struggled through years of uncertainty, are facing more obstacles, and yet billions of pounds are being poured into asylum accommodation and support costs. This includes the ever-growing issue of small boat crossings, with huge sums spent annually to manage the crisis. And if that weren't enough, the government is allocating £310 million to the World Health Organization and pledging an additional £70 million to support foreign farmers. These decisions are not sitting well with a population already grappling with cost of living pressures, stagnant wages, and rising taxes. Against this backdrop, the petition calling for a general election has taken off like wildfire. It's not just gathering attention, it's breaking records. Hundreds of thousands of signatures are being added every hour, with some estimating it could surpass 5 million in the few days. The sheer scale of support is turning what some might dismiss as an online outcry into a significant political statement. Figures like Reform UK's deputy leader Richard Tice are urging people to make this the largest petition in UK history. Political analysts are beginning to take notice as well. While some argue that online petitions rarely lead to tangible change, there's a growing sense that if this momentum continues, it could become a defining moment, a clear signal of just how unpopular Keir Starmer's government is becoming in such a short period. After reaching 2 million, Keir Starmer had his say in the matter. This is what he said to ITV News when questioned about it.
But are you now feeling the pressure? Because I think there's a petition that's currently
Your approval
online
ratings have dropped.
1.9 people who want the election to go again.
It's now
is
over
it 2 million now?
It's now just over 2 million.
Do you feel the pressure?
Look, I remind myself that very many people didn't vote Labour at the last election. I'm not surprised that many of them want a rerun. That isn't how our system works. There would be plenty of people who didn't want us in the first place. So, look, what I focus on is the decisions that I have to make every day. And it's a bit like opposition.
Surely you want us, the public, to trust you, to like you, to think he's the man for the job, he's doing what he needs to do. Your approval rating is lower than Nigel Farage's right now, which even saying it to the Prime Minister of the country I live in, that I pay tax in, to say your approval rate is lower than Nigel Farage, that's disappointing. Whoever I support.
The thing is, if you make your mind up, as I have done, that we're going to do the difficult things first, then I think it's inevitable that people do feel they're difficult decisions.
He will start to get worried when the local elections come around and Labour MPs begin turning on him. What are your thoughts on the petition surpassing 2 million signatures, and what are your thoughts on Keir Starmer's response? Let me know in the comments. In other news, under new guidance from the Home Office, police will be required to record non-crime hate incidents, NCHIs, only when there is a clear risk they could escalate and threaten community cohesion. This shift is part of a common-sense approach aimed at addressing concerns that police time is being consumed by trivial or low-level cases. NCHIs were introduced after the racist murder of Stephen Lawrence, with the goal of tracking incidents that might escalate into more serious crimes. However, over 13,000 NCHIs were logged last year alone, covering a wide range of cases, from schoolyard arguments to disagreements involving doctors, vicars, and even handshakes over gender identity. Among the more questionable entries were a doctor recorded for allegedly misdiagnosing a patient and a vicar noted for declaring that being gay is a sin. Despite tightening the rules last year to focus on incidents where there is clear hostility and a tangible risk of harm, confusion and inconsistency persist across England and Wales' 43 police forces. Home Secretary Yvette Cooper has acknowledged the value of NCHIs as a tool to track rising hate incidents, particularly those targeting Jewish and Muslim communities. However, she has also expressed concern that current guidelines are failing to capture enough incidents of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. Both the Community Security Trust and Tell Mama, two organisations that monitor hate crimes against these communities, report that the true scale of abuse is vastly underreported. The Home Secretary is now seeking to strike a balance, capturing incidents that genuinely pose a threat to community safety, while avoiding the recording of minor or frivolous cases. A report from the Policy Exchange think tank highlights the strain NCHIs place on police resources, estimating that officers spend over 60,000 hours annually investigating these incidents, time that could otherwise be spent tackling serious crimes. The think tank also points out significant disparities between police forces. For instance, Essex Police recorded 21.5 NCHIs per 100 officers, 3 times the rate of the Metropolitan Police, and much higher than other regions like Greater Manchester and West Yorkshire. In response, Policy Exchange has called for the complete abolition of NCHI recording. A Home Office source emphasised that police should use common sense when logging incidents, and that NCHIs are most valuable when they help authorities identify emerging trends and prevent escalation. Former Metropolitan Police Commissioner Lord Hogan Howe has also endorsed calls for more oversight, noting that the subjective nature of NCHIs leads to inconsistent outcomes across different forces. He urged ministers to carefully review the Policy Exchange report to guide future policy decisions. Lastly, the government is unveiling plans to tackle labour shortages by offering job training and support to tens of thousands of prisoners, aiming to boost employment prospects for ex-offenders. The initiative, part of the Get Britain Working White Paper, targets sectors like construction and hospitality, tailoring training to local workforce gaps. Currently, fewer than a third of prisoners find work within 6 months of release. The new strategy includes employment advisory boards, dedicated job hubs in prisons, and partnerships with business leaders to help ex-inmates secure jobs. Research shows that employment significantly reduces reoffending. Ex-prisoners with jobs are far less likely to reoffend, with a reoffending rate of just 16%, compared to 35% for those unemployed. The government hopes to help 140,000 people by 2029, emphasising that supporting prisoners into work is key to reducing crime and benefiting the economy. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British political content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.